Take your marks.
So an even start to the men's 200 backstroke, our first final of the night. Good start by Swinburne in lane 3 in particular, and Woodward there in lane 4, right up on the pace, as is Josh Edwards-Smith.
Pretty even start across the field. I feel like Brad Woodward has a real point to prove, not only tonight but this year. He didn't make the semi-final in Paris last year, and it was just a campaign that did not work for him, that Paris campaign. So out with a point to prove, not on the team yet. This is his final chance. Love to see him pull out an incredible time, an incredible swim, of course under the qualifying time, and book that spot to Singapore.
Josh Edwards-Smith, who's in the lead coming into this 100 metres. Nice long stroke. There's more flow to that stroke. Looking at Bradley Woodward, a little bit tired through the first 100 metres. Important turn, stays down at 10 metres. He's got some work to do, and coming in with 75 metres to go.
It's also Enoch Robb in lane 1, who was second around that 100-metre mark. 20-year-old from Griffith University, so he's having a good swim over there. However, the rest of the field is starting to move away from him now. It really is back in the battle of the middle of the lanes with Bradley Woodward and Josh Edwards-Smith.
Edwards-Smith narrowly ahead of Woodward.
Great turn from Bradley Woodward, showing the experience there.
So Woodward's making up territory on Edwards-Smith. Lane 3, Swinburne also making some ground. But it's Edwards-Smith leading. Woodward trying to eat into the margin. He's grinding away, getting ever closer here. Brad Woodward coming after Josh Edwards-Smith. Edwards-Smith's going to take it to the wall. Edwards-Smith the winner. Woodward second, and they've both posted qualifying times, and they are officially off to Singapore to contest this event.
Oh, you can see the elation there. You can see the relief there from both Joshua Edwards-Smith and Bradley Woodward, both under the qualifying time. Oh.
Yeah, I think relief is the right word. And, you know, Gianni, you told us about that leading into it. Wanted that opportunity to be recognised as this event, to be able to swim in the 100, important for the relays. His stroke was fantastic, first 150 metres, but you could see the fatigue set in with 50 metres to go. A little bit shaky coming down that last lap, which opened the opportunity for Bradley Woodward after a great turn to be able to get back in the race. What came to Josh Edwards-Smith's favour was being on a full stroke into the touch.
He's all pumped up, and so he should be, into Australia's team for Singapore. And he's been in good form this week. He finally has the accolades to go with that. 156.94, Brad Woodward second, Stuart Swinburne third. Great relief for Woodward to lock up his place on the Dolphins team. He missed out on the 100, but he's there in his more preferred event. Let's go to Kate.
Josh, I'm going to come to you first. Big celebration, hand on the wall first, qualifying time. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I mean, it meant a lot. Missing the Olympic team last year, you know, was a big blow. So I don't normally get emotional after a race like that, but it felt good to celebrate. Wasn't super happy with the time, but to get the hand on the wall first, under the call time, pretty happy.
Tell me a little bit about that, because I think that all the young boys and girls watching from home will know that feeling of disappointment. Can you take us into what that mindset is like and how you rebuild and how you regroup?
Well, every race is the same. You got to approach it. You know, you just got a job to do. You get into the job. You can be disappointed afterwards. You can be happy afterwards, but ultimately we just do this for fun. It's really fun to get out there. So, yeah, the last 50 for 2 isn't always that fun, but I love it. I love it. So that really helped me get back into it, and I just like doing it, like getting out there and racing. So.
Yeah, Brad, it did not look like you were having fun when you climbed out of the pool. Tell me about that race.
Yeah, that certainly hurt. You know, I think 2 back, if you're not hurting by the 100-metre mark, you've done it wrong. So it's a painful event, but, you know, it was a really good race with Josh. You know, it's good to get just like in those middle lanes and just have a go, and it was a good fight on the last 50. And same thing, probably not stoked with the time, but my 100 the other night was pretty bad. So to get myself back up tonight, I'm pretty proud of that. And get on the team again, is really exciting.
Well, we are proud of you both. Congratulations off to Singapore.
You are excited, I can tell. So Molly-O narrowly out of the medals in this in Paris. It's a race that always comes with enormous anticipation. The 100 free. A tremendous start by Alex Perkins, who has already qualified in 2 of the butterflies.
She did a PB by over half a second in the heat this morning, and she is in the form of her life. And it is almost a blanket as you go across the pool as they come into the turn. So everyone turning slightly faster than this morning. Molly, that is 0.4 faster than she split on her way out, and watch her begin to move through. But she's not able to pull away as she usually does. With 25 metres to swim, she has a slight lead, but the others are going with her.
So Molly-O starting to dig in now. She's hit the front. She's so strong in the back end of these races. She looked under siege with 25 metres to swim. She cruises home in the end. We've got a soft touch once again, so disregard that. Molly-O's won the race. Olivia Wunsch has finished in second. Thorpe, that might be a little upset with Olivia Wunsch, but that was an amazing speed from Molly-O to storm home.
Olivia Wunsch was fantastic off the blocks, had a great start. She looked like she was right on. She'd have the fastest reaction time, carried it through the underwater. Seeing her on the right of your screen here, surfaces before Molly-O does, levered out that earlier part. Molly-O started to cruise in that last part, or was fatiguing. She had a really lazy finish, but could afford it with the distance that she actually had in the win. We're looking to the times, looking at where the improvement has been made by swimmers. We also saw Molly take a breath there, 15 metres to go. But we're looking at the top 6 swimmers here. This is for our most successful relay, the 4x100 women's freestyle relay. You've been a significant part of that, Kate.
Yeah, and it is being dominated by some new faces. Shayna Jack finishing 8th in that final, so she will not be on the plane to Singapore. As we see Molly-O, Olivia Wunsch getting those individual spots. Alex Perkins, another personal best. Abby Webb, another personal best. Hannah Casey, personal best. I'm telling you, there are personal bests here, there, and everywhere.
This is quite amazing. Abby Webb and Hannah Casey have dead heated. They dead heated in the 200.
For 4th as well.
That's absolutely, that is freakish. Freakish.
They must have planned it.
They couldn't have planned that.
I'd also like to say, just for people to be aware of where Molly O'Callaghan's time sits for this year, she was under 53 seconds. When we look at the US trials, she's actually comparable. Of course, the fastest time of the year was 52.43 from Gretchen Walsh, but Gian Rooney is there now with Molly-O.
Molly, I'll start with you. Olivia, we're going to get to you in a very quick second. But Molly, congratulations, another win tonight. But that was tough going out there, wasn't it?
Yeah, look, this is probably my 400 of the season for Freestyle. Definitely a tough one. I got to be a little bit nicer to myself with the lead up that I've had to this point, and the depth just shows in this 100 how much pressure there is to perform and to get to the top. So I'm pretty proud of these ladies that they could show up, especially the younger ones, to step up and fill in the roles of the older girls who've retired.
And we're incredibly proud of you. We knew how tough the 200 was for you a number of nights ago. What does it mean for you to know that even throughout adversity, even with no great preparation, you can still get up and do it when it counts?
I think when you're at your weakest, it's always worth it to step up because you end up stronger in the end. You leave everything on the floor and you only gain knowledge in the end run. And it just shows your mentality in the end, like no matter what's thrown at you, in the end you'll be unbreakable. So I think to step up and race this meet and to try and compete for another Worlds after having a big break and an injury and lots of other little things thrown at me, I think I'm pretty proud of myself to get to this point. And there's other people that I've watched this meet compete and who've gone through similar things, and they've done exactly that, and I'm pretty proud of them for doing it because I draw inspiration from them. And to be honest, also my coach Tino, even though I give him a bit of a tough time, I've been crying a lot and a bit of a mess, he's always stood by me in that point. So it's good to always go to him for knowledge, and especially my support team to look after me all this time. So I'm very grateful to have them.
Well, not only another individual event in Singapore, but now the leader of this 4x1 freestyle relay team. Well done, Molly. Olivia, to you, you've had to wait until night 5, but you are going to Singapore.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of doesn't feel real right now. I mean, it's always such a privilege to be able to step up with the girls. I mean, the competition is so fierce in the 100 free. That's what I love about it, and it's nothing's given. So it's really exciting to be able to step up again. I mean, yeah, it all happened so quickly. So I'm just really proud of all the girls for stepping up tonight, and yeah, it's really exciting. Yeah.
Pete, when we were in Paris last year, what does it mean to you to not only cement yourself in this 4x1 freestyle relay team, but of course get an individual spot in Singapore?
Yeah, it's really exciting. I mean, yeah, this year's been pretty challenging. I mean, everyone has the challenges, but I think 5 weeks ago I really didn't know where I'd be back in the water. I've had a bit of illness this year, so it's just really nice to be able to come back and race and be with the girls and just see where I'm at and just have fun with it.
Not just any illness, glandular fever.
Yeah.
It is extraordinary that you're even here, that you're lining up on the blocks, and to swim this well, you should be so incredibly proud of yourself.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy. I mean, I guess with glandular it's so unknown, like you don't really know how you're going to go in the getting back into the water. So I just took it one step at a time and could focus on what I could control, and I'm really excited that that's landed me there tonight, but there's plenty more things to work on, so I'm just really excited to move forward.
Just like we were talking to Molly, in the fact that the team that you were part of in Paris, that 4x1 freestyle relay, has changed exponentially up until this year. So what does it mean now to be a part of that new Olympic cycle where all of a sudden you are the leaders of this squad going forward?
Yeah, I mean, it's really exciting. I've looked up to these girls since I was a little kid watching the TV, so it's really exciting to be part of that, and hopefully continue the legacy of the 100 freestyle in Australia.
Well, we are so proud of both of you. Congratulations. We will see you in Singapore,
Thanks,
ladies.
Fascinated to see his underwater here. He was conservative this morning in the heats. Away in the final of the men's 100 metres backstroke multi-class. He went for 8 kicks this morning underwater instead of the usual 11. How'd you see that start, Ellie?
Yeah, that looked good. Ben Hans was a little conservative on the start. We heard Ariane Titmus speak to that earlier, but he is out fast. He's rating up nice and high this evening. His split this morning was 27.14, so we'll see what he is coming into that first turn at the 50 metres. If he's ahead of world record pace.
Oh, he's 1/100 under it. So the world record line will come into view on the back end here for Ben Hans, who nailed the underwater off the turn as well. He's inside the world record line again. Box office delivering again. Can he nail this world record time in front of the Adelaide crowd under the Friday night lights? It's going to be a real test here for box office Benny Hans to bring it home for a third world record of the week. And it's a qualifying time, 56.62. Just outside the world record, and QT's all over the place. Bud gets another one. Ricky Peter as well. And Hans has put the rivals on notice ahead of Singapore with 2 world records for the week.
Gosh, you're going to love that smile, Speedy. He should be extremely happy with that. 2 very fast performances in the 100 metres backstroke today from Benjamin Hans. 56.62 this evening and 56.35 this morning. He's as consistent as a Swiss watch. Gosh, he looked great in that first 50. Rating up nice and high. We did see that rate drop in the second 50, but he was certainly flirting with that world record line. Very motivated heading into Singapore, where he said that he wants to swim so fast that all of his competitors end up going to shot put, which is my favourite quote of the week as well. But Benjamin Hans, congratulations.
And Declan Budd, 17 years of age, qualifying time for him, 101.08. He's under that by a good half a second. There's Benny's mum. Fiona delighted with that swim. I love you, mum, said Benny the other night from down on pool deck after he nailed that other world record. So 4 qualifying times achieved in all, with Tom Gallagher in the S10 classification, the 4th.
Unfortunately, Jesse Ungle's missing that qualifying time. It was his last chance tonight. Let's take it down to Gian Reedy.
Well, Benny Hans, World record in the 50 earlier in the program, world record in the 100 this morning, just outside that time again tonight. You must be so proud. What a ripper meet.
Yeah, thank you very much. It was a hell of a meet. I've got my suit untied up there. That's no good. We'll deal with that later. Love you too, mate, whoever you are. That race was perfect. I looked at the board, switched it off, engraved the medal into my name, gold medal. Sorry, boys.
Well, we loved it.
Mate, 100 bucks mine. You can go 100 fly, you can go 200 IM, Australia, get all the golds. But 100 bucks mine. Sorry, boys. That's all for today. Thank you.
There you go, just doing the hierarchy. We're out, we mic drop, and we're off. Well done to Benny Hands. It gives me an opportunity to chat to Declan. Congratulations, adding another event to your Singapore program.
Thank you.
How did it feel out there tonight?
Felt pretty good, felt strong, felt way more faster than this morning, so I just had to deliver.
Absolutely, and getting a qualifying time, you can't ask for more than that.
Yeah.
Well done to you. Enjoy Singapore.
Thank you.
And Ricky, to you, also adding another event to your Singapore program. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. I've really worked on the backstroke, just mainly for the IM, but yeah, it's good to see that I'm capable of going QT for this meet, so can't complain.
You certainly can't. Congratulations, and we will see you in Singapore. Well done.
Away in the final of the women's 100 metres backstroke multi-class, and the long underwater from Jazzy Greenwood came up in front of Montana Atkinson with a nice underwater as well in lane number 6.
Jasmine Greenwood out very, very well. Now, she is a brilliant medley swimmer, more known for her butterfly events, but she's only entered 2 events this week at trials. As I mentioned, she qualified in the 100 metres butterfly earlier in the week, another qualifying event for backstroke. Maddie McTurnan now making her move into that first turn. She'll need to split 33 low or under.
33 mid for McTurnan, so needs to bring it home fast for her qualifying time in the S14 classification of 108.79. And you can see that Hannah Price is up to 3rd in the pool. Remember, she's an S10 swimmer, needs that 110.3.
Madeline McTurnan in dangerous territory with her 50-metre split there, but you can really see her take it to Jasmine Greenwood here, lifting up that rate, trying not to let her get too far ahead of her. She'll need that qualifying time of 108.79 for Maddie McTurnan in lane 5 in order to qualify for that team.
McTurnan on the wall, tips out Greenwood, doesn't get the qualifying time, and Price just misses as well with 111.29, so no QTs achieved in this final.
Great to relive that special night in Paris there, James, but Thorpe, in reality, Zach Stubblety-Cook hasn't qualified for the team to Singapore yet, so we've got to see him swim up to what he did this morning, and he actually looked really good. He started particularly well. He actually led up to 50 metres this morning.
That is the one thing, and that is a surprising thing. We're not used to seeing him out in front in that first 50 metres. Of course, he's known for that back end being able to return. And, you know, we expect him to do well and qualify tonight. That was Gideon Burns, of course, a 19-year-old here, teenager in the field, the only one. Josh Anderson in 1. Lane 7, Josh Collett, interestingly, he was 2nd at the National Championships in April.
Took half a second off his entry time this morning, Lachlan Gilbert.
In lane 6, representing Nudgee College, Finlay Schuster.
Nudgee College has had a great week. Plenty of great swimmers emerging from that program. Chiefly amongst them Harrison Turner, who's been a real revelation this week in Adelaide. Here's Josh Young, an Olympic finalist. We saw him in the replay there alongside Zach Stubblety-Cook in Paris.
National champion Bailey Lello. Now, he's going to have to swim a PB to qualify in this, but that is possible. Has some form. Zach Stubblety-Cook. He is the Olympic champion from Paris. It was silver, sorry, the Olympic champion from Tokyo. Silver in Paris, just behind the champion, the French champ Marchand, who is a superstar. Zach Stubblety-Cook having changed coaches recently. This is the pet event. This is the one that he's usually got in the bag here. I think he has enough experience that he won't be unsettled that he hasn't qualified yet for these World Championships. We are witnessing some athletes at different stages of their 4-year cycle to the Olympic Games, this being coming into the 3 years to go for each of them. Some have had longer breaks, Some have been on training camps in different parts of the world, but Zach Stubblety-Cook is here to perform in the pool that has been so favourable to him. He broke his Commonwealth, Australian and the all-comers record here in 2022.
In fact, on that night, it was a trial night, and he broke the world record last time he was here in these similar circumstances. Fastest qualifier by 3 seconds.
Take your marks.
So on times, he should win, and win pretty comfortably. But pressure is a funny thing. He's made a good start again. Not quite as slick as this morning, although he's starting to push through in the middle. And he's working under Mel Marshall, who oversaw Adam Peaty's success in breaststroke swimming. And that must be an area that they've been addressing, because he has been a lot faster away this morning and again tonight. And it would appear that he's going to lead, if not in the first couple of swimmers. No, he is leading after the first 50 metres.
Goes through with a comfortable lead. This is going to take a little bit out of Zach in changing and reforming his race. New coach, new strategy, being able to apply speed earlier in the race rather than relying on the last 50, which becomes dependent on where your competitors are to see the result that you wish for. But here at the selection trials here, Zach Stubblety-Cook looks like he's in control.
A smooth opening 100 metres. He leads Bailey Lello and Josh Yong.
That whipping motion that we saw in the kick on that underwater was great from Zach Stubblety-Cook. The way that swimming is, and what swimming quite simply is, it's about efficiency and propulsion. That kick being the strongest part where you can propel yourself through the water. Expect another big turn from Stubblety-Cook, but on either side, Josh Yong and Bailey Lello are pushing him hard.
Indeed, Yong has closed the gap to Stubblety-Cook. They turn for the last 50. This is going to be a tighter finish than perhaps we were expecting. It's a good turn by Stubblety-Cook. Gee, that was a great turn by Lello. He's made up huge ground.
Josh Lello looking for that PB.
This is the strongest part of his race, Stubblety-Cook, and again he looks to have asserted his dominance. He's ahead of the blue line. There's a race for the blue line for second and third here. Stubblety-Cook looks like he's got it won. He's going to qualify. It's Yong leading in the battle for second. It's Yong versus the qualification time now. Does he get there, Josh Yong? No. But Zach Stubblety-Cook is the winner in 2:09.09. In fact, Josh Yong's been disqualified, Thorpe.
So we'll have to look at the review for what that was for Josh Yong to be disqualified in that event. On the start there, the fastest off the blocks, from what I could see, was actually Josh Collett in lane 7. So we'll have a look at the start, see if there was any movement there. Also, on the touch, we'll look at each turn. We'll look at dolphin kicks underwater. That start, that's Zach Stubblety-Cook. The angle that he hit the water there was fantastic. But we're finding out what's the reason. We may be able to find it out why Josh Yong was disqualified in that.
Well, there's been a myriad of disqualifications this week.
People must be doing things wrong.
Well, it would appear so. We'll find out specifically what the issue is regarding the disqualification of Josh Yong. But for an Olympic finalist to miss qualification for the world champs is quite a shock. What did you see there, Thorpe?
I don't see anything from Josh Yong on the start. They say slight movement. I didn't notice it. So it looks to me like it might be one of the turns. Start underwater. It may have been the way that he initiated his dolphin kick as well. You're allowed to do one off the start, not two. Isn't distance in this event, surprisingly, how far you come off the wall. All the others have a limitation on 15. The way that your hands touch the wall, they have to be together.
There's a lot to review. Let's go to Kate with Zach.
I am here with Zach. Zach, it's a long time to wait until qualification for day 5. What did you make of your swim tonight?
Yeah, obviously it's a long time to wait, but I was pretty happy with that to get the job done tonight. Probably wanted a little bit faster after this morning. It felt really good, but it's just about getting a job done and building into the next for the summer. So yeah.
Now, do you realise that the last time you were in this swimming pool, I can tell by your smile that I think you know where I'm going with this question, you broke a world record?
Yeah, it was a little while ago. I think I swam once after that, but the last time a trials was here, it was 2:05 alongside Matt Wilson, who's just retired. But yeah, some really good memories and some fast swimming in this pool.
Now, I have to ask, it's well documented that the female athletes on team do their nails up in all kinds of colours, and I have just noticed that yours are looking very fine. Was there a thought process behind it?
I just thought, why not? Like, I started with one and then was like, why not? I know Inserti and I did it before the Paris Games last year, so I liked it, and it was a bit of a self-expression, so yeah, it was good.
I rate it. Now, you have had a bit of a change of coach. You are training under Mel Marshall on the Gold Coast. How has that transition been?
It's been awesome. I think, like, obviously carrying an injury into this season was a bit touch and go, and I think I wouldn't be out here tonight without her, so very grateful for that transition. The Gold Coast is awesome. The group's really good, so I can't really have any complaints, and she's got me over the line here, so yeah.
Well, congratulations on a job done tonight. Thanks so much. Over to you, Brace.
Away in the women's 50 metres butterfly multi-class final prime time experience under the Friday night lights for these 5 teenagers, and Montana Atkinson, a wonderful technician, comes up 2.5 body lengths in front, and she just attacks this 50 metres fly with such vigour.
She is absolutely flying. Originally from Oyster Bay in Sydney South, she now lives on the Gold Coast representing Helensvale Swimming Club. This is the last race. She's entered 7 events this week, so a very busy program. Doesn't look like she's tiring.
Oh, full touch on the wall for 30.85 in the S14 classification. No qualifying time to bid for. And Duffy just edging out Giroux on the wall.
Faster time in the final this evening from Montana Atkinson than what she swam in the heat, and after a huge program this week, she should be very proud of herself. There's young 12-year-old Paige Duffy on the screen there from Clovercrest Swim Club. She's also entered in 7 events this week, but she made 6 finals at the recent Age Nationals. Some underwater shots there of our para swimmers. Montana Atkinson in lane 4. Up into a breakout straight away, and she did not slow down from start to finish. Being able to convert that time into the finals. Swam half a second faster from the heat swim, so a very impressive performance from one of our members of our Paraflippers squad. She'll enjoy Abu Dhabi later this year.
It's her 4th final of the week. Put herself beautifully now onto the men's 50 metres butterfly multi-class final. Just 4 competitors. Unfortunately, Cole Pearce doesn't go around after racing in the heats earlier today when he swam a new Australian record in the S10 class. 26.11 was enough to take Alex Safi out of the record books.
Yes, we did see an appearance from Cole Pearce in the heat swim this morning, as you just mentioned, Speedy, breaking that Australian record, but as withdrawn from the final, leaving just 4 swimmers for the last Paralympic events of the program. We have Bailey Stewart in lane 4, it's a 24-year-old from Somerville House.
Famous Knox Pymble Swimming Club cap worn by 17-year-old Daniel Rigby.
Tom Ainsworth, 15-year-old representing Southern Performance Swimming Club, about 15 kilometres south of where we are at South Australian Aquatic Centre. Tom Ainsworth in lane 6. He was a successful, able-bodied age group swimmer, and 3 years ago experienced a spinal stroke in his sleep and suddenly woke unable to use his lower legs. Required 3 years of rehabilitation to get him here tonight. Very special night for the Ainsworth family, swimming in his first final.
Two 17-year-olds, a 15-year-old, and Bailey Stewart, the senior citizen, the 24-year-old, in lane number 4 here. Exciting night with the final squad for the Para Swimming World Championships to be named later on this evening. And they will go for gold in September.
Does that make you a senior citizen, 24 years?
In this final, it does. Away in the final of the men's 50 metres butterfly multi-class. The final event on the multi-class program for the week here in Adelaide at the Australian Swim Trials. And A really keen contest from the three out in front. Boyd, top of the screen, lane 3, alongside Stewart in 4. Rigby in 5. A little off the pace is the 15-year-old Ainsworth in 6.
Daniel Rigby having a terrific race here against Bailey Stewart in lane 4. Touches the ball.
Rigby wins on his time. 29 flat. Just ahead of Stewart. And Rigby looks pretty happy with his work.
Certainly will be 0.3 faster than he was this morning, but if you consider the stature of Daniel Rigby against Bailey Stewart, he certainly had some work to do, but dug deep in that last 25 metres. He's got to convert from the heats this morning. He is also a member of our Paralympic Flippers squad heading to Abu Dhabi in November, Daniel Rigby. Coached by Patrick Telecki at Knox Pimble.
At the age of 8, he flicked on the television, watched Ellie Cole and Brendan Hall win medals in Rio at Paralympic level and said, I want to do that. And here he is on the national stage, taking out a final in the 50 metres butterfly multi-class. The final results, 29 flat for Daniel Rigby, the highest rated swim in that final as well.
And that concludes our Paralympic swimming for the week, Brendan Speed.
And you've got to get ready for a presentation tonight. You're handing over the caps, Ellie.
Certainly am.
Take your marks.
So Tara actually defeated Ella in Brisbane a couple of months back. And it was quite a decisive win in the end. So let's see whether that is the status quo or whether Ella can reverse that result. Ramsey lane 4, Kinder lane 5.
So straight away, we're seeing Ella exert a bit of dominance over this field already. She looks strong, in control. Had to glide a little bit to that first turn. You notice as you become a little bit more experienced, you'll see athletes either increase their stroke rate coming into a wall or a finish to make sure they finish or turn with a full stroke on the wall.
So Ramsey almost half a body length ahead now. They've gone out in very quick time. 2:25.91 the qualification time. Both of the leading swimmers well in front of that blue line.
Tara Kinder having a good swim here. She's got a PB of 2:23.84. So well underneath qualifying time. She's already on the team for the 200 IM. Would love another individual spot in Singapore.
That was a good turn by Tara Kinder. This looks like a dogfight, I reckon. Ramsey ahead, but Kinder just digging into that margin ever so slightly as we get towards the back part of this race. You can see the gaps closed quite considerably, and the blue line's made up a little bit of ground as well. Ramsey started the race hard, and Kinder is trying to dig in towards the last 50 metres here. They're about to turn for the final time.
So we keep an eye on the qualifying time, that blue line behind both of these ladies, but it's not too much in play here as both athletes are already on the team, so we'll have the opportunity to swim this event in Singapore regardless, as long as they're first and second on the wall.
Ramsey just. Kinder closing. This is a gutsy swim from Tara Kinder. She's been grinding away. Ramsey's had a busy schedule. Does that tell in the end here, or can she hang on? Ella Ramsey leading. 10 metres to swim. She might be able to see it out here. They're both going to qualify regardless. Ella Ramsey makes it 3 events this week. Amazing effort from her. 100 breaststroke and a 200 IM, and you can throw the 200 breaststroke into that as well. And Tara Kinder also qualified in the 200 IM, and she now has a chance to swim the 200 breaststroke in Singapore.
Well done. That was a great swim from both those ladies. Just watching full stretch on that turn for Ella Ramsey. Really lifted the stroke rate into the third 50, built through the fourth. Starting to hurt with 15 metres to go, but managed to hold off Tara Kinder. Pretty solid swim, 2:23.92 for Ella Ramsey, 2:24.61 for Tara Kinder. Hayley Mackinder finishing in third with a 2:27.93. So, a couple of individual events for both Ella and Tara in Singapore, as we mentioned.
So at just 20 years of age, Ella Ramsey-Starr continues to rise. Defeating Tara Kinder in a very good race. A thrilling finish, and both of them have locked down yet another individual swim. Let's go to Kate.
Ella, it has been a busy week for you here, and it is going to be a busy week in Singapore. Congratulations for qualifying for your third event.
Thank you very much. I mean, not overly happy with the time, but just to be back here racing after the Olympic come down, it's nice to find some new motivation under Mel. I can't owe it to her enough. She's got me back to my physical and mental best, so this one's for her.
Oh, it is so wonderful to hear. A happy swimmer is a fast swimmer. And Tara, congratulations. Another event to your Singapore program.
Thanks, Kate. Yeah, obviously qualifying on day one was a big relief, but this event's sort of always been my baby, so tried to hit it out as good as I can tonight.
Now, I want to ask you about your tattoos. Is it true that you want to become a tattoo artist and you have your own tattoo gun?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Is there a tattoo planned to commemorate this achievement?
I'm not sure about this one, but just I think being a dolphin in general, I'd love to get that number sort of somewhere on me, but I don't want it to get lost in the sleeve, so I'm yet to decide where to put that one.
And are you going to do it, or is someone else?
Depends on which side of the body it's on, if I'm left or right hand.
Big decisions to be made. Now, Ella, you have spoken about that change in coach. It's not that long until Singapore. What are you hoping to do between now and then?
I think coming here, just refining the skills was the best thing. I think I've done a few PBs in my skills, so just to tidy that up again and hopefully get some more fitness under my belt.
Well, we can't wait to watch you both. Congratulations, ladies. Another event in Singapore. Thanks, Brace.
Take your marks.
So if you're wondering if the national record is in play tonight, Sam's only got to drop his personal best by 3 seconds. And the way he's swimming, that's very achievable. Let's see what he can do. It's great to see him back to his best. James Smith, lane 1, Thomas Raymond, lane 2, Magdalia, lane 3, Ben Godemans, lane 4, Sam's in 5, the two open water specialists, Kyle Lee in 6, Nick Sloman in 7, and Alessio Macri from lane 8.
It's easy, Tomo, just 0.1 of a second every lap. That's all he has to do.
Okay.
We were talking about Sam Short's arrival interview tonight, Thorpe, and you liked what you heard, didn't you?
No, it was great. So Sam came in and he's in great form, and he said to the other athletes the way he was going to swim this race, if they want to stay with me, they're going to hurt.
Oh, I love that talk.
Which also means that he's feeling good. You don't pull out those kind of statements if you're not feeling good, and he's had a great week already. We know that he's in form. We know that he had a horrible year last year, and his Olympic campaign was completely derailed by illness and injury, so just didn't have the meet that he wanted, and it really took a fair bit to get him back in the water after Paris, to recalibrate, to find the love for swimming again, and it's so good to see him not only back in the pool but racing well and back to his best.
Back to his best and in good form. Everyone assumes everyone's at their best at the Olympic Games, but we have to deal with every issue that anyone else would. And, you know, whether that's an illness or something's happened in the family, you have to contend with that. Sam Short didn't have the best of luck. But now that he's got some form and he's got everything on his side, not only is he swimming fast, swimming well, he seems happy back in the program.
I want to point out something that I find quite interesting is that Sam is over on the lane rope early, so usually in a race situation you swim down the middle of the lane, but in training we circle the lane. But I find it interesting that it's always on this lane rope closest to camera, where
the left-hand lane rope.
It's always closest to camera with Sam, so it's not like he's circling the lane and going up on the left-hand side and back on the right. He's staying over this side, and I wonder if that's a tactic to stay away from Ben Godemans.
So Gian caught up with Sam talking about his love of the 1500 metres and his expectations. Let's have a little listen to what he had to say.
Sam, 1500, what is the thought process for this event here?
Well, you know it's going to hurt. It's just not if, it's when. So hopefully you get through at least half the race feeling in a good rhythm and then trying to attack it on the way home. But pretty much it's just going to hurt and you just got to deal with it. And it's who can deal with it the most that usually does the best.
So is that same game plan as historically, or has anything changed since Paris last year?
Well, I've kind of been focusing a lot on my 400, 800 stuff, so 1500 is a bit of a bonus at the end of the week for me. Definitely been doing a lot of mileage in the pool, so I can definitely do a good race. But I think for me, it's more getting in the race and swimming how I know I can, and I know I'm very fit at the moment. So hopefully I'll be going really well when you see this. So yeah, get out in front and just kind of hit that rhythm through the middle and try and last all the way.
And first time this year, or this preparation, going to altitude, how has that changed the game?
Yeah, I felt really good coming off the back altitude. Did a lot of racing internationally, just like hard in-season racing and getting some runs on the board, which I think will pay dividends this week and hopefully in Singapore. And you know, I feel really fit, so hopefully it shows in this 8 and 1500.
We talk about where the 1500 sits for you in your program. The 4 and the 8 are the big ones, but given your history in this event, still wanting to hit Singapore hard?
100%. You know, my PB, if I'm going my PB time, I'll be fighting for a podium and a medal. So that's always the plan. It's the end of the week. Everyone's always tired, so it's a great race to watch. And I think my PB would have gotten 30 Olympics if I was on. So, you know, you can't stop doing the events. And I do love the event, so I'll hopefully be swimming it in Singapore.
Is there a mantra or something that's going through your head with 500, 400, 300 to go to get you through?
Yeah, always kind of trying to count down the laps. Particularly when you're hurting, it goes very slow. But if you're feeling good, then it goes a bit faster. So definitely when you're hurting, you're counting down every lap, that's for sure.
And you have history in that?
Yes, I love to hurt at the end of my races.
We wish you all the best. It's going to be a ripper.
Cheers, thanks so much.
Great chat, Sam, with Gian before this race. Let's go to Arnie. She's poolside. Now, Sam said he was going to take this out and try to drag the field along with him. Arnie, he's leading the race, but your training partner, Ben Godemans, is sticking right there with him.
Absolutely. Benny, I don't know if Benny has much of a race plan other than just to stick with Sam and hang on. Knowing Dean, that's probably what he said. But I'm looking at Sam out in front now, and he's spoken about how he wants to take it out hard. He wants to drag the others out with him, but his stroke rate is so low. He's looking so comfortable and cruisy here, so efficient through the water. Like I spoke about before on the analysis, his turn times are better than ever. So you have 29 turns in a 1500, and if he's able to gain a little bit on Ben next to him, that's where you can also make up a little ground. But I'm interested to see how long Benny can stick with him for. He's a tough trainer, he's a tough competitor, and I think the charge from Dean would be just to hold on and hurt.
And what are your thoughts on Gian's observation with respect to Sam hugging that lane rope? He's come more central in the middle of the lane here, but it was noticeable, particularly throughout the first 400, he was swimming pretty much against that left-hand lane rope, or the one closest to camera.
I believe when Ben was still close to him at the beginning of the race, it was absolutely what Gian said, trying to stay away from the lane rope, not letting Ben get any sort of drag from him in the beginning of the race, trying to get clear water as soon as possible. And now that he's got a couple of body lengths on Ben now, he's centralised himself a little bit. And from swimmer to swimmer, that's what I believe he's doing.
Arnie, does he look settled in his stroke now? Has he established it yet?
Yeah, I think he has. He breathes every stroke. He's got a loping stroke, which enables him to get a little bit more breath on the side opposite to his breathing. He's got a really soft 6-beat kick going the whole way, which keeps him balanced. And also, like, just sometimes just letting your legs dangle. It's hard to bring them back in when you need to actually make a move. So utilising those legs as much as you can without taxing your big muscles in your quads is really important. But he's about to turn here at the 700-metre mark, and I'm actually surprised. You know, Nick Sloman, who's a wonderful open water swimmer, he's not too far away from Benny as well. So they're sticking with him here.
That engagement of legs comment, Arnie, I think, you know, deserves some explaining. You know, if you want to bring them in, you can't just turn them off for the entire part of the race. You still have to have a connection with the water, but also just so that they're warm, ready to go, ready for you to pounce and make that move.
Absolutely. In a distance race, you can set into a rhythm, but sometimes you get too stuck in that rhythm. And that's why it's also so important to get out fast, get your stroke rate up, settle in, but also keep things firing. And for me, when I race an 800, I do the same thing. That nice little soft balance of the legs, so when it's time to move, you've got someone creeping up on you, you need to make a shift here off a turn, you're able to bring them in without hesitation, and it just makes it a lot easier.
All right, Arnie, thanks. We'll come back down to you before this race is out. But an interesting change over the complexion of this event. Sam's still leading, but Ben Godemans has got some company now. Matt Galea starting to work himself into the race in lane 3. And as Ariane pointed out, one of our open water stars, Nick Sloman, in lane 7, also closing the gap.
And that's important for the depth of this race once again. We know that Sam is the one to beat, and Sam has kind of put this field on notice from the start and has really taken it out hard. He said, if they want to come with me, they're going to hurt. But it is a credit to the rest of the athletes in the water that they're not letting him get too far away. They are still in striking distance, and it's up to Sam now to really hold on.
It is that stroke settled. It's the question is around speed and how fast he'll go in this and how close the other competitors will be. It's not as though he has this, distant lead where he's not there, where people can't see him off the turns and they just kind of give up on what their position is. He's only about 7 metres ahead of them.
And also with his sprint ability, which is separate to anyone else in the field. He really does have that speed when he needs it. He does have that 6-beat kick when he needs it, which is maybe very different, especially for our open water swimmers that are in this event.
Yeah, they know how to stick to a speed and just go at it all day. That's what they do very well. It's as though Sam Short has an extra tool in his tool belt that he can use, he can pull out when he knows, apply that to this part of the race.
So Short leading quite convincingly. Godemans hanging on to second place. But there's going to be quite the race for the second position, one would think, because he is under siege from Matt Galea and Nick Sloman. The most immediate dangers. In fact, Sloman's really creeped. He's almost gone past Godemans in second position. And as one would expect from a 10K specialist, there's going to be plenty in the tank for the back end of the race. But Sam Short out by 4 body lengths. The national record probably not under threat given the time he's swimming just at the moment. But he's doing what he needs to lock up a place in the 4, the 8 and the 15 in Singapore.
So he increased his kick just ever so slightly coming into that 1,000-metre mark. So that graphic on the bottom left-hand of the screen is the last 100s that he's done. That's his split times. So 1 minute flat, 59.9, 58.8, 59.5. So see how he's getting himself back into the race now.
So it's almost a little bit of I wasn't being pushed enough, or I needed to maintain a higher tempo, and he kind of got that, didn't he? It was like, right, I was feeling a little bit too comfortable. I've got to find out of my comfort zone now if I want to make this time count.
He's really pulling ahead now, Sam Short. Sloman's nearly gone past Godemans.
And it's as though, for me, observing this, it's as though he's just added some intensity to what his intent in this race is. And in doing so, we've spoke about the kind of stroke he takes, the way that he's extending. He has very low stroke rate throughout. He's just been able to add a component that gives him more efficiency here.
Do you know what I feel? I feel like he was almost waiting for the pain to kick in. He's like, I can deal with it once it's there. I know it's coming. I just almost want to feel it so I know I can deal with it from that part on.
But also in disregarding that this is one of your events, that you want to swim this as a bonus, he might be thinking a little bit differently. But Arnie, what are you seeing?
He's definitely kicked up his rate, his legs are up, and my thoughts, Sam said, I'm going to drag the guys out with me. It's almost like he brought them out with his easy speed without using too much, and then once he's kind of dropped them off a bit, just kicked another gear on and just broken them. At least Benny and Nick Sloman had a bit of a match race going to keep themselves accountable, but Sam's definitely kicked on here. He almost looks like a different swimmer in this last 500 compared to that relaxed, easy roll of the shoulder that he had through the first 500.
It's one of those things that's actually quite fun when you know that you actually have another card up your sleeve. to be able to apply to a race. You can pretend as though you're about to go, your competitor thinks that they're doing that, and then when you decide to actually turn it on, find that extra gear, you know, that's when you can actually blow them away.
You might have thought it was fun. Your opponent certainly did it, Scorpy.
Mate, I can only speak for myself. and
he
Sam
just lost
his cap, so, mate, he didn't like what he was hearing from you, or the other way around.
And Sam's got a fair bit of hair as well. It'll be annoying him. It'll be in his face, and he'll be able to feel that, but he's such an experienced athlete that it wouldn't stop him, you wouldn't think. However, it does provide a huge distraction when something like that happens.
My biggest concern is if you put your goggles on the outside, the movement can actually flip them where water will get in. So we see most athletes putting goggles underneath their cap to prevent that in case the caps do come off. We only really see it, we mostly see it, I should say, in the longer events.
So Godemans is dug in here in second position. He might have seen off Nick Sloman for the moment. Sloman went past him, but Godemans has been able to arrest back that second spot, and he probably leads that battle for second by about a body length. And you saw the swimmer in lane 8, that's Alessio Macri. He's been lapped by Sam Short, who turns and heads back deep into this 1,500-metre freestyle time final. In fact, look at this from Godemans. Godemans is closing the gap.
I agree. I agree. This is going to be an incredible time from Ben Godemans. He is not letting Sam Short get away in any way, shape or form, and that gap is closing.
It really, and quickly.
Arnie's behind him, that distance.
Hey, Arnie, your mate's making a move here. He's a chance late in this race.
I know, he absolutely is. He's such a tough trainer and competitor, and it'd be so good to see him get a second spot on this team. Come on, Benny.
There's Arnie waving on, urging on her training partner in the background. Sam Short leading for the moment. This gap's evaporating quickly. I don't know there's going to be enough for Godemans to mow Short down, but this is an unbelievable swim by Ben Godemans.
And you could just see Sam coming into that wall. Sam is hurting. There was a long stretch to that wall. He's trying to find whatever he has left to hold on here. The cap coming off is thrown in.
Wow.
Ben Godemans
He's
is
motoring home.
rain.
Godemans is coming after him. Sam Short, the grand piano's on his back. Godemans is within half a body length. Godemans getting closer with every stroke. Short trying to hang on. Godemans is close. Short falls in. They've obliterated the qualifying time, but Ben Godemans, that is extraordinary. We're expecting Sam Short to win by the best part of a lap of the pool, and Godemans has taken him to what? Not even a body length in the end.
Yeah, 0.56 of a second. Continues that winning streak that he set out earlier in the year. He took 11 seconds off his PB to get to 14.57. Now he's taken it almost another 5 seconds off. 14.52.99. What a great swim.
What an epic finish. The last 100 metres. He swam it like it was a 100 freestyle sprint.
I mean, if they were the instructions that he got from Dean Boxall, it was just kind of try and stick with Sam Short. The last 200, give it everything that you have, and when it hurts, try even harder.
Well, the lead from Sam was out to 5 seconds at one stage of the race, and it has come down to 0.5, half a second in it by the finish. Talk about an exciting end to a 1,500.
Oh, it's such a compelling event. You think back to Sam Short in Fukuoka a couple of years ago with his race against Hafnaoui, and incredible race that one. There's been some remarkable 1,500 freestyles in recent times, and that's right up there with them, even albeit a national trial.
Well, I'm excited for Kim in looking at our legacy in this event at a World Championship level. I mean, it all started with Kieran Perkins. We won it for 5 consecutive World Championships from there. And, you know, although it's gone, there's another opportunity. It's gone to other nations where they're performing better in this race. We are still amongst the mixed in this.
That race I'm talking about, Fukuoka, it was Hafnaoui from Fink, and it was the tightest 1,500-metre freestyle race ever swum. Sam Short was third in that. Look at this, the overhead shots showing it perfectly. What a surge by Godemans in the last 100. Oh, he's got jelly legs as he gets out the pool. I'm not surprised. And Arnie's the second most excited person in the building behind Ben Godemans. What an electric finish. Well, he's heading to Singapore, Ben Godemans, realising that he's somewhere in the medal reckoning, given what he's done there against Sam Short, who is a previous World Championship gold medalist in the 1500 freestyle. What a finish to the night. Sam Short defeating Ben Godemans by a very skinny margin when it was out to 5 seconds at one stage during the race. Kate is with both of the combatants.
Sam, you were leaning on the rails as you were getting out of the pool. That one looked like it hurt.
Yeah, I actually felt really good until like the 1,000, and then my cap started to come off, and then after that it just went downhill. But I think I'm going to buzz my head for Worlds. So.
Tell me about the thought process when you can feel that something's moving. How distracting is that? How much does it put you off your race plan?
I mean, a fair bit. I was actually like adjusting my cap like most of the turns at start. I just did not want it to fall off before the 1,000, so that would have been rough. But when it fell off, I just wanted to get my hand on the wall first. I didn't expect him to catch up like 2 bike lengths on the last 50, so I got a bit scared the last couple of metres, but I felt like I was in control at the 1,000, so a lot to improve on come Worlds.
Well, Ben, I might bring you in around this side. Holy smokes, mate. That last 100 metres, where did those legs come from?
Well, I don't use any of them at the start, so I just have it for the last 50, but yeah, I just saved them for that part.
You're having an absolute cracker of a meet, massive personal best in the 800, and you said that you were targeting this 1,500. Was that what you were after?
Yeah, that was definitely what I was after. After I did some big PBs at Nationals, I was kind of like, I don't know how I'm going to, do better here. But, Dean helped me. He just told me it wasn't fast. So, no, it definitely helped me mentally be able to go for this and, drop some time.
Now, I want you to talk me through that final 100. Is there just like something really good about feeling like you're catching Sam? Sorry, Sam. I know that it's a horrible feeling to be caught. But does that just give you like a little bit of extra edge?
Yeah, that last 50 was just adrenaline. Like seeing I was getting closer and then started to believe maybe I could get it. And then, yeah, that just adrenaline gets me to the wall there. But it's close, but didn't get quite there.
Well, you get another chance in Singapore, but I'm sure that Sam will have something to say about that. Congratulations, boys. Both tickets booked. Off you go. Enjoy yourself. Well-earned break.